Right. We are live on Monitor 1 and we are live on Monitor 2. Hope y'all are coming back with Jason Black's latest broadcast. Saying that it's going to be an hour and 24 minutes. So hope you enjoy it. Sure I will.
Channel, we present to you a special investigation into the so-called Asian hate crimes hysteria that the media has tried to hype up, with how it collides with the case of the murder of Daunte Wright, and exactly who is really responsible for all of these hate crimes. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting super fortress of intelligent Black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel. And I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically Black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, we are going to be looking at a number of different things. As you all know, we are the only Black media outlet out here that actually investigates things, takes a look into them, and especially when pertinent things occur and happen. And as I showed you all from a video last night, there was a memorial that was put up for Daunte Wright in Los Angeles. And I've shown you video from that. And if you were tuned into last night's program, you got to check that out. And we were showing video from that. And the individuals in the video I was much more concerned about. It's not just the event itself, but the individuals in the video, because that is what we really need to take a look at and see, okay, what's really going on here and who's really involved. Because the national media has been on a campaign now to rewrite American history and to rewrite current American events and to tell you that there is some crime wave against Asians and that Black people are the primary force behind it. Now, Black people, after all these decades, we have the focus squarely upon white supremacy, the single most destructive, evil thing that has ever befallen planet Earth. And the media went to work to try to change the subject now that Joe Biden and his mistress Kamala are in office. So job number one became change the subject. And even more so, the best way that they thought, the best way to silence Black people would be to say, Black people are not victims. As a matter of fact, Black people are oppressors. Well, you can't claim that we oppress white people. Well, no, Black people are oppressors of Asians. Wow, there's more Black people, and take a look at all these videos. So they've now claimed that so much as saying something that an Asian finds offensive now qualifies as a hate crime. And I'm very serious about that. Not just a hate crime, but a racial attack. Well, do you think that vandalizing somebody's memorial qualifies as a hate crime and a racist attack? That is what the videos show. And after looking into these things even more, we started identifying individuals here. And we did some looking at this. There's a guy on Twitter, Chris Loader, and they had videos from this as well, in addition to the ones that I found. So, and keep in mind, your corporate media outlets are not discussing this. They're not talking about this. So I need all of you to share tonight's program. Very, very important that we do that. Very important that you share that. Understand, they are not going to do this. They are deliberately concealing this. When you go on the websites, your major news websites, they are talking about, if they do mention it, which most of them don't, but if they do, the only thing that they say is there are videos. They don't link to the videos. They don't explain about the videos. And the only videos that they link in their articles are the aftermath, but they don't show the individuals. So what you have is a deliberate blackout, if you will, or whiteout by your white supremacist corporate media outlets, CNN, Newsweek, ABC, all the rest of them. They are deliberately doing this for the purposes of a cover-up. It's not accidental. They're doing this deliberately. They are deliberately refusing to show who the assailants are in this case, deliberately. And if we didn't go digging to go find it, it wouldn't be there. Now, if you listen to the white supremacist media, they would have you believe that we need to be worried about Asians and that we need a hate crime bill, a hate crime law specifically to protect Asians. A law that has never been made for Black people who are the victims of everyone, including Asians. They've never done anything like this for Black people. So what they're trying to do is leapfrog Black people and then say we need to focus on everyone except Black people. Why? Because Black people's grievance is the only one that can actually attack white supremacy. So we need to change the subject as quickly as we possibly can. And that's the goal now. We are not allowing that to happen. And so I'm giving you all the intellectual firepower that you require to be able to stare these people down and to be able to show them exactly what is going on, starting with the fact that there is no campaign against Asians by Black people. It's actually the opposite. Now, what I want to do here, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get to know these people. I shouldn't say people because they are not people. We're going to get to know these criminals, these hate criminals, a bit better here. We could actually just go down the police blotter, I suppose. And I think in many ways that would make a lot of sense. What we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. I want to get that out of the way. I don't want anything to interrupt this. So we're going to go ahead and get straight to that right now. And when we come back, we are going to deal with getting acquainted with who the enemies are in this case. In the meantime, I want to thank everyone who has supported tonight's program on Cash App or PayPal. Thank you all so much for that. We appreciate that. To the Mad Hatter, Quentin, Linwood Johnson, everybody who has supported tonight's program, thank you very much for doing so. It is very much appreciated. Black Mama as well, thank you. We're going to take a very brief break. When we come back, you're going to get to know who the enemy is. This is the Black Channel.
Within us is a powerful spirit, a God-given spirit. It's a spirit that empowers us to oppose demonic white supremacy, a spirit that motivates us to eradicate racist lies with Black truth. This spirit was alive during the rebellion of 1811. The spirit catapults us towards righteous justice. This is the spirit our opponents fear. Is the spirit of 1811 alive in you? Visit us at spirit of1811publishing.com. Buy our novel, War of the Heart, on sale today at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Spirit of 1811 Publishing. Our story, our family.
Aliens descend upon the city and discover melanin. They notice the people. They exploit the people.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I enjoy it. And because I can.
What type of payment do you want?
Do you see me? I have the best. I want the best.
and I deserve the best.
Join us for the new drug you can find on YouTube at The Urban Gods, spelled with a Z, channel on YouTube.
Hey family, what's up? What's up? I'm Master Trainer Solomon Pratt. I'm in here to change lives, thighs, and glutes with my products with the online training. The online training is very, very effective. It's convenient to work out when you're ready on your time. So it'll download to your app. You get 3 to 5 workouts per week tailored for you based off of your body type, your goals, your lifestyle, your experience, and also the equipment that you have. You're going to have the best bands, Solid Fitness World bands. He has ankle bands. He has booty bands and power bands that's going to strengthen, stretch, and change your life. Get your bands, use your bands, solidfitnessworld.com. Be the best.
She said she had a big fee. She had a parking ticket to pay off. That was around $300. He said, okay, I'll help you out with that a little bit. So he intentionally tried to put in $30, but he fat fingered the hell out of this and put in $3,000 and sent the money off to her by mistake. And when he finally realized what happened, and of course he was messaging her, calling her, no reply. And after about 500 calls later and 10,000 texts later, well, he just realized she was all gone.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Glad to be with you all here this evening as we do a special Black Channel investigation here about Asian hate criminals, because the truth hasn't been told about this. And I want to start with a hate crime. And please remember, your white supremacist corporate media outlets, CNN, ABC, NBC, all of them have been deadly quiet about this. Even though this has been circulated hundreds of thousands of times now, the corporate media outlets are not talking about this because they are trying to create a phony, fictional narrative that somehow it's Black people, the weakest people in America, are out victimizing Asians, the most economically strong people in the country, and increasingly showing most politically empowered people in the country. So people who have been given a model minority honorary Anglo-Saxon status, they're not trying to tell you that they are victims of Black people who are their economic base, by the way, to the point of ignoring our own. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a closer look into this so that we can find out more about this. For those of you who are new to this, who are not sure what I'm talking about here, there's a memorial to Dante Wright, who was killed in Minnesota, in Brooklyn Center. And this is video from Los Angeles. They made a makeshift memorial to him in Los Angeles, and this is what they did here. Individuals, as you can see, you got your multi-ethnic coalition out here to commit a hate crime, and a symbolic hate crime against all Black people. To understand, what they are saying is that they are approving of the murder of all Black people. That's the real point of this. So what they did, these cowards who hid far away from protesters went downtown and attacked a defenseless memorial. Now, there were plenty of Black folks that could have tried this in front of, never even came close to it. So in true white supremacist fashion, they were cowards to the end. But we need to get to know them. Since they are so afraid of people seeing, we're going to get to know them a little bit better here, is what we're going to do. So I'll show you the pictures here so that you can get to see them. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper off into it. Now, if you take a look at the one over there on the far right, I'm not trying to be ironic, but over there on the far right, you can see the gap mouth idiot over there. And when you take a look into that, The information here, and this is coming from Twitter, from Chad Loader. You can see this is the man stealing flowers from the Dante Wright Memorial saying, "You don't know who I am," is named Tracy. Tracy's a regular at the Beverly Hills Trump rallies and hangs with Lucas Isturiz and Armin Rez. We'd appreciate your help identifying Tracy and his employer. So if you take a look there, you can see from the screen capture that I had there for you, you can see who that is specifically. And you start hearing familiar names. You start hearing familiar things. Now, remember, I was telling you all about this after the election in 2020, before the media got off on this phony, contrived campaign to fabricate some lie that Asians are being targeted. I showed you all where over there in Japan, they were having Trump rallies. They were supporting Trump over in Japan. And I was showing you that then. So Asian support for Donald Trump, Asian support for white supremacists has been strong for a while now. Here's more video of this Tracy individual knocking the candles off the memorial. There's no police out there. There's nobody charging with hate crimes, destruction of property. Nobody's doing that, causing a public disturbance. No one out there doing that. Understand? This is letting you know. Now, if these were black folk out there, it would be totally different. Fox News and everybody else would be covering it. ABC would be talking about it. The local ABC affiliate in Los Angeles would be talking about hate crimes if this were happening at an Asian memorial. Oh, wait a minute, Asians ain't getting killed like that. Never mind. So they don't have the opportunity to make a memorial. Black folk would love to have that kind of privilege. So just showing it to you there. When you start hearing these familiar names, now there was like a Trump rally out there in Los Angeles and they all got together. So they felt emboldened, but they were not stupid. They knew where they could go. They knew where they would not be able to go. And they made sure the coast was clear before they tried anything. Now, at the beginning of the previous video that I showed you there, you can see this white male, as you can see, white Latino, when you take a look at his last name. Not certain. Not certain. There are folks, I'm getting conflicting reports about that. But regardless, this white person here, you can see he's very bold, blowing out candles when there's nobody else around. Very bold about himself there. So the next question becomes, okay, well, who is that guy then? And when you take a look at him, find out that this is Lucas Reese Isturiz of Alhambra. So you get to take a look at him, and oh boy, this guy is straight out the radical alt-right. He's got restraining orders from girlfriends. He's part of the anti-vaccine movement. He was he at the Capitol building? I mean, this guy is, I'm not sure. This guy is all over the place out there. All over the place out there. Sterling citizen. Sterling citizen, as you can see here. Sterling citizen. A pillar of the community. And bold enough to sit up here and jump up and attack a defenseless memorial, by the way. So what you're seeing is these are usual suspects. It's not just one person here. Now, while Texas wants to make it where if you have 3 misdemeanors, that qualifies as a felony, I'm waiting to see them come and grab up guys like this Lucas Reese Isturiz. I'm waiting to see them come grab up guys like this. He's allowed to sit up here and rack up all these things and take a look at what he's doing here. Guilty of 1 count of burglary. Shouldn't this guy be on his 3rd strike by now? I'm asking all the questions. Shouldn't he be on his 3rd strike? How is it that he's allowed to go out here and commit one crime after another? Now he's escalated to new things. This guy should be on his 3rd strike by now, shouldn't he? But the prosecutors keep letting him go because he's on the same team. He's on the same team. How in the world is he still walking the streets after all this time when you take a look at how lengthy his rap sheet is? If this were a black male, he never would have made it past the first one. And yet, take a look at him. So that just lets you know they are being empowered and allowed to roam. So they're not just out there for nothing. Now, next up is the individual in the middle there. And this is another award-winning, prize-winning moron here. Another interesting little chap. And his name, her name, yeah, it looks like a he, but according to them, it's actually a she.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It looks like Kurt Cobain had a child with Jackie Chan, but yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Not sure if this is a half white, half Asian, or whatever the case may be, but Kennedy Lindsay of Canoga Park was involved here. Stormed the Capitol. This is one of those Trump's MAGA supporters on January 6th of 2021. They got film of him inside. She has yet to face any consequences and is rumored to be acting as an informant for the FBI. Now, I want you all to understand the United States government would have us all believe that this individual needs to be protected. Now, that is what the United States government would tell us all right now, is that Black people do not need protection from Kennedy Lindsay and their roving bands of marauders. The United States government claims that, in fact, Lindsay needs protection from Black people and needs to get extra money and financing and everything else. These are your Democrats saying it, not just your Republicans. So that is what they're telling you now. Oh, you all thought you were going to build a minority coalition. See, Black folk running around with this stupidity. We got to get Trump out of office. We got to get Trump out of office. We got to protect the Asians. And here's what the Asians are doing. The Asians are out there in force, stomping for Donald Trump. I mean, they going to war for him, while you're trying to tell all of us that Trump's a white supremacist, and Asians certainly wouldn't side with that. The United States government is now telling us that Kennedy Lindsay needs to be protected. Kennedy Lindsay needs aid from the government. Black people do not need it. Why? This individual here needs it. That's what the United States government is telling you now. But probably to top it all off is the little chick over there on the left. Over there on the far left. And boy, oh boy, get ready for this one. Her name is Angie Chang, and to say she's a loose cannon would be putting it nicely. She is part of the LA-based QAnon. She is a COVID denier. She's an anti-mask troll. This is video that she took going around harassing people and not wearing a mask during a global pandemic. But take a look at one more little point they make there, by the way. She's a software developer for Alo Yoga. If you all want to know what's going on in Silicon Valley, if you want to know what's really going on in Silicon Valley, this is what's going on. Black folk have been lying to themselves for decades, pretending that there is going to be some type of coalition. There's already a coalition. It's been around since World War II, and you ain't a part of it. This idea that somehow there's going to be a Black-Asian coalition. Someone go and wake Issa Rae's dumbass up and let her know, hey, you sound industrial strength stupid now for saying the nonsense that you've been trying to perpetuate. Go ahead. For all the black folk who are telling you there's going to be a Black Asian coalition, you might want to start with Angie Chang here and let her know. You might want to start with her and let her know. And by the way, she's got a storied history about this kind of thing. By the way, if you take a look here, it shows you that Angie Chang on Instagram, she goes by the name Milan Trump on Instagram and Angels of War on TikTok. Is a regular at the Beverly Hills Trump rallies. So she doesn't go where black folk are. She doesn't go where she can get caught up in anything. She doesn't do that. She's not that stupid. See, she's going to go hide over here and go run to a place where there are no black folk or anything. And, oh, I won't face consequences for my actions. We're going to go run around and try that. You're going to try that where there are no black folk at. Where you think you've got white support. Where you think you can throw a rock and hide your hand. That's the point of it. She thinks these folk are going to protect her. There she is there. So, yeah. So here she is running around. And by the way, would they let black folk do this? They would have had you arrested. If you black folk going into a store doing this, they would have had you arrested for running around the store, causing a disturbance like that. They would have had you arrested, but that did not happen to Angie Chang, software developer at Alo Yoga. Now, Alo Yoga let her go months ago. I just wanted you all to understand that. Understand that. And this was months ago that Chad Loder had documented this, that she joins up with Shiva Bagheri, and Capitol insurrectionist Kennedy Lindsay. So just understand it's not accidental. It's not accidental. You've got an Asian coalition, all right. Hate crimes and hate criminals not being arrested. Wonder why. Here she is at a party here, and you can just wonder how many white men that she wants to prove herself to while she's there. No, I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm serious in what I'm saying. I'm serious in what I'm saying. She is not an Asian white supremacist. She is a white supremacist. Jason, you know, you're being hyperbolic. You really, really are. I mean, yes, she's Asian, but just because you're Asian and expressing racism, well, that doesn't mean you're a white supremacist. You're an Asian, but she's just racist. No, she's a white supremacist. And not simply by my statements about it, by her own. Now, she has since locked up her Twitter account. She's since locked it up. She's locked up her Instagram. I don't know if her Twitter account is even still there. Her Twitter account might be gone. But she has since locked it up. But screen captures were taken months ago. Now, she's been allowed to roam the streets for months now. And the United States government is telling you that she needs protection. I want you to understand this. The United States government is telling you that this animal needs protection from black people. That's what the United States government is telling you now. Black people don't need protection from the police, Zimmerman white supremacists, or marauders like Angie Chang and her group of raiders. But by the way, if you want to know how you ended up here with them vandalizing Daunte Wright's memorial, if you want to know how you ended up here, this is how you ended up here. And this is going back months now. This is not new information. She said, I had a dream that some nigga was trying to sell me Trump coin, and then I blasted them. And Angels of War. She thinks that she's safe out there in Los Angeles. So when you have Black folk who are telling you that their desire and demand for interracial sexual access, if you all think that the Issa Raes of the world are harmless with the type of stupidity that they say, yeah, it's stupidity, but it's far from harmless. That's the point I'm trying to make to you here. It's stupidity, all right, but it's far from harmless. Far from harmless. Need more? We got more. Oh, check this one out. Oh, you didn't see this one coming now, did you? I will never apologize for being white. Angels of War. Now, I want you to take a look at the previous one there. Take a look at the dates. February 22nd. And then the next day, February 23rd. I will never apologize for being white. The new Black media has been telling you now for years. They have been telling you now for years. There is a reason that the Richard Spencers, the Mike Cernoviches, and all of these alt-right people and urban white supremacists have never had a problem with Asians, because Asians identify as white. It's been no problem giving them honorary Anglo status, because they already have freely expressed that they have been mentally colonized, mentally defeated, and desire to identify not as Asian, but as white. Let me remind you all of something. There has never been a pro-Asian, pan-Asian movement. I want to remind you that. There has never been a pro-Asian or pan-Asian movement. In Hong Kong cinema, it's always the Japanese versus the Chinese. In anime, they turn themselves blonde-headed and blue-eyed. Black people are the only people who have had a movement of reclaiming our identity as a people. We're the only ones who have done that. Everybody else is trying to figure out how they can not just be with white, but to identify as white, to abandon what they are. There is no pan-Asian movement. The movement has all been one direction, towards claiming whiteness. So it shouldn't surprise you when neoliberal white supremacists like Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi sit here and say, we need to fund them because Black people are never going to be assimilated. We are never going to be able to assimilate them into the white supremacist structure. Africa is just too strong. Therefore, we need to ethnically cleanse them numerically. And they are choosing to use every other group to drown us in for that purpose. And now they're just in direct financing and legal aid and everything else to accomplish the goal. But it shouldn't surprise you that they are uniting with individuals who don't have any type of identity outside of the white supremacist establishment. They don't have one. You never heard I'm Asian and proud. They're not resisting the system. They are trying to be a part of it, which is why I've always told you. They are not resisting the system. They are trying to be a part of this. If you have not shared tonight's program, what's wrong with you? This is information you're not going to receive anywhere else. You're getting it live. You need to understand they're trying to drown this out so that your children don't know. And most of you don't have the ability to articulate this for them. Bring them here. Bring them here so that the Black media can do that job for you. Think I'm done yet? No. She goes on to say, people want to be less white, but I'm cocaine white. Angels of War. You thought your Negro bed wenches were bad. You thought your whitewashed Negro bed wenches were the worst you've ever seen. There's a bunch of Negroes out there in California, Los Angeles right now would be hurting themselves and snapping their kneecaps and ankles to try to jump in bed with her. And this is what she's telling you. She is not claiming Asian. She is claiming white. That should be a warning sign to anyone. She's not claiming Asian. She's claiming white. She's claiming white. You shouldn't need a whole bunch of folks to sit up here and explain that to you. But she's claiming white. Black folk do a very good job of trying to play dumb about these things. With people who are not playing dumb with you. That's the problem. We're playing dumb with people who are not playing dumb with you. Now, if you go to her TikTok account, you can feast on some of her videos there. Now, I would just like you all to watch this here for just a few moments because Kamala Harris went out of her way and has continued to go out of her way to claim to be the Asian. I'm Asian. The Asian Attorney General of California. The first Asian American senator. I'm Asian. I'm Asian. Yeah. Looks like Asian society didn't get the memo. But oh yeah, I just thought I would let you all see this first, by the way. That the forces of Asian hate crimes that attacked Dante Rice Memorial, I wanted you to see exactly what they think and really feel. I wanted you to understand what we're actually dealing with here. Because Kamala Harris and the Democrats have tried to tell you that she's Asian. Asians love her. She's Asian. She represents Asians. And every time we turn around, I have told you all, I'm looking for her Asian support, and I can't find it. I'm looking for Kamala Harris's Asian support. She doesn't have any black support. I'm looking for her Asian support. I can't find either. This is Kamala Harris's Asian support right there. So all the morons and idiots and Biden bootlickers want us to believe, she got cross appeals right there. And every time you show them example after example, well, that's just one. Okay, that's just two. Okay, that's just 50. Okay, that's just one city. That's just one state that don't like her. Yeah. Your dumbest and densest are going to keep arguing until everybody's buried. I just want you to see there's Kamala Harris's Asian American support. Just understand that. That's her Asian American support there. These are the folks who love Kamala. Think about that for a few moments. Because I've been saying this to you for a while. I've been telling you about this for a while. Not a game and not a joke. If you go to her TikTok, which is Angels of War, you can see she sits up here and she goofs around.
Seconds. Respect Joe Biden or die in 30 seconds.
30 seconds? All right. 29 more seconds till I die.
Respect Joe Biden or die in 30 seconds.
30 seconds? All right. 29 more seconds till I die.
You can go down her TikTok account. As you can see, she is as vulgar as she can be. They got their coons on deck. They're very good about that. The Asians have their pet coons on deck. They made sure about that because they know that the media, that's the media code. If you got your bought and paid for, fully registered token Negroes, you can hide behind them and the media will allow you to keep doing that. That's why the Black channel has to call out Angie Chang, because the white supremacist media will not do so. You can go to her TikTok if you want to, but then again, you probably don't want to be assaulted by nonsense like that. I did this to you all. Well, I said to you all, I guess Freudian slip. I did this for you all here tonight because I want you to understand the United States government right now is trying to put forward a Asian hate crime bill. Now, they're going to call it COVID hate crimes, but all the wording in it is specifically directed toward Asians. Black people have been yelling here since Trayvon Martin, and no one has offered a federal program, bill, law, anything for what Black people have talked about now, going on a decade, going on 5 decades. Nothing that we have said has been touched. All of a sudden now, they want to jump up to do, quote unquote, do something for Asians, something that they have never offered to do for us. And I just want you all to know that the Biden supporters are not harmless. They're dangerous. When this kind of thing happens and they just ignore the ramifications and impact of this and keep supporting the Chuck Schumers and Joe Bidens and whatnot, they're not harmless. They're dangerous. They're not harmless. They are dangerous. There are so many Black folk out there who have been telling this bullcrap lie that somehow we are going to have some sort of Black Asian coalition. They minorities like us. Remember a decade ago, we used to hear that all the time. Well, who are these folk with them? And by the way, where is the Asian community to rise up against this and to say, we're going to out these people? Where's the Asian community to do that? Where's the police to do that? Because I heard that all of this was a hate crime in Los Angeles. I heard that this kind of behavior was a hate crime. And so far, none of your media outlets, the police, nobody else, they've just ignored this and they've given this a pass. So what does this tell you? This tells you that everybody is in on it. They are all a part of a conspiracy to target Black people. We are at the 5th step of Nazi Germany. They are here now saying that it is open season on Black people. They have deputized the society. They are only going to pass laws that they can use against Black people. And even the laws that they can't use directly against us, they'll only enforce laws where they have the ability to target Black people. But that is it. That is all. They're not going to do anything beyond that. So they're letting you know whose side they're actually on. It's not accidental when you see this. It isn't accidental. We haven't had anybody. Your elected representatives are not here defending you, and many of them are obviously on a suicide mission. The very folks that Kamala Harris is kissing ass on are sitting up here burning her in effigy. Either because they are Asians who do not consider her to be Asian, or they are Asians who consider themselves to be white. And the media isn't saying a word about this. Notice something. The media isn't going to bring on their Asian coons to tell you how much they don't like being Asian and what's wrong with Asians. Do you understand that? The media is not going to bring on your Asian coons. Now, they'll bring on a Candace Owens. They'll bring on a Jonathan Capehart. They'll find some Black folk. They won't bring out Asians to come out and denigrate being Asian. They won't come out. They won't do that. They're not going to give you that kind of exposure. Now, they very easily could. But I want you all to see the differences in how people are treated. I want you to see the difference in how they direct things. I want you to see that this is what we're up against now. You have a united media, police front, and whatnot, and this idea that there are Asian hate crimes, or there are Asian hate criminals and crimes. Yeah, there sure are. They're being directed against Black people. And ask yourselves a question: why is it that this is the first place any of you heard this? Why is that? Where's Roland Martin? Where's Tom Joyner? Where's BET? Where's TV One? Where are any of them? Where's Joy Reid? Where are any of them? Where are they? Can you tell me where they're hiding at? Can you tell me where they are? Can you tell me what they're doing? Because according to other folks, those are media outlets too. Okay, if they're media outlets, who are they serving? Why are they not saying anything about this? And now that we've said it, are you going to hear it from them? Or are they going to tell you, ain't nothing wrong, this isn't an issue? I don't want her TikTok account reported. The way that you deal with this is you go and you meet them in person and let them know that this is not acceptable. They have employers. You're supposed to be getting in touch with them, although these folks here, she'll find a zaddy to lay up with. But I want Black folk to understand something here. You don't ask for the right to survive. You don't ask that. And when you got white supremacists and white supremacist identifying individuals, you don't play with that either. That's not something that you play about. That's something that you take action on. You don't play about that. Because she wasn't playing. She went to a memorial to stomp on a dead person's grave to symbolically demonstrate how she feels about the violence that she wishes to meet upon Black people. Let's be very, very clear about that. When she went there and did that, she did that for the purposes of demonstrating exactly what it is that she doesn't like, and that she is here to commit violence against Black people. That is what she's wishing for. Now, what I'm saying is we don't play games like that with people. We have a very bad habit of playing games with people who are not playing games with us at all. To say it bluntly, she had deadly intent out there that day. I think this is her walking up now. She had deadly intent. And I want you to understand that. While she had a white zaddy to hide behind, she was real big talking. When she had a white zaddy to hide behind, she was a big talker. She had a lot of courage. And that's the kind of thing I want for us to be aware of. I don't want anyone to take this lightly, because I want you to understand she's just one that we caught. These are just the ones that we caught. The media is not going to trumpet this. This kind of thing happens all the time. They've been going from place to place, and they are one among many. I've shown you where this is happening all around the world. They are one among many. And the media is telling you, and the government is telling you, that they need protection from Black people. That's what they're telling you. In an absolute hideous distortion of reality, they are telling you that these criminals need protection from Black people. Black people don't need protection from them. They need protection from us. Yeah, they sure do need protection from us so they can continue their path of destruction, is what they are telling you. They need to be protected. They need to have protection from the state so they can continue targeting Black people. That sounds like your white supremacist mass shooters. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It does sound exactly like them, because that's exactly what it is. I don't have a whole bunch of ways I can describe it to you more than that. I just want you to understand exactly what you're dealing with. But enough from us here now. The telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933, your personal access code to the Black media. The reason I did tonight's program is because no one else has done this. Your so-called mainstream corporate media outlets have not done this. They have not talked about this at all, and they are not going to speak about it, which is why we have to do this. But Angie Chang and Kennedy Lindsay and Tracy and this Reese fella and all the rest of them, we need to be aware of who they are, and we need to make sure that people understand that we are going to be proactive about this. Starting with being aware, starting with having intel, starting with knowing who your enemies are, starting with knowing where they are, starting with understanding that when they get together in these little hate rallies, that is not an innocuous thing. That is deliberate. And they are letting you know that they are gathering up their courage, that if they can get together in a group and catch one of you by yourselves, because that white supremacy is a cowardly pursuit. And the only time they confront you is if they have superior numbers, superior firepower, or if they can take you by surprise and ambush you, preferably all three, because that's usually the only time it ever works, is they have to do all three. So when you meet individuals who have already communicated to you that they are moving in a gang, they believe they have resources and firepower and backing behind them, and they are looking to take you by surprise, that is a very real threat, and that is a threat you need to take seriously. We're going to go ahead and open up the telephone lines now. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933, your personal access code to the Black media. Once again, thank you to everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program. We appreciate all of your support there. When you put your money where your mouths are. So I want to thank you all for supporting the Black media. It is very much appreciated. Let me get caller from area code 718. You're on live with the Black channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on
Hi.
live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Jasmine, and I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Jasmine from Brooklyn. What's on your mind?
Okay. First, I just want to say that I'm a little nervous. But I am affiliated with a charity that is donating things to the island of St. Vincent because they had a volcano erupt there. And we were ambushed today by Andrew Yang's political campaign.
Okay, do you have video? Do you have video of it?
I do. I have a little bit of video. I do.
Okay. How do you know they were Andrew? How do you know they were Andrew Yang's people?
Oh, he came himself.
Okay, and what did
First,
he?
he sent his representative, and surprisingly enough, as they sent his representative out of the blue, Channel 12, or I was in News 1, I'm sorry, Spectrum 1 showed up.
Okay, well, okay, here's the important thing, okay, because here's the problem. In the modern era, if you don't have video, it didn't happen. So if
I do have video.
If you have video of the things you just described, I got Andrew Yang, I got Channel 1, New York 1. If you have that, here's all I want for you to do then. If you have that, I want you to upload that to YouTube, and I want you to email me a link at theblackauthority@yahoo.com. So if you have that,
can it be a?
You can upload it to you.
Can it be a private link between you and I?
You can make it unlisted. When you upload it, just choose to make it unlisted, and you can send me a link to it, and I'll check it out then, and we'll see if you have something. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Certainly, folks, just be aware for everybody out there and whatnot. If you have some event like that has occurred, you all need to make sure you document that, because every time we have to go outside the community or anything like that to get this kind of stuff, they're counting on all of y'all. The only time Black folk whip out their phones is when there's foolishness going on between Black folks. So have your documentation ready. You stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Let me get caller from area code 904. You're on live with the Black channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Monty from Jacksonville, Florida.
Monty from Jacksonville. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Jason. Sometimes I can't understand black people. I mean, this white supremacy stuff is thrown in our face, and if we just look at it like, oh, we're going to just pray our way through this, and it's not going to happen like that. I mean, these people are telling us what they're going to do to us for hundreds and hundreds of years. And now they show this Asian stuff. And I remember when I was in the Navy overseas, Asians thought we black men had tails. So the white supremacists have been putting this in their minds ever since that came.
Well,
So
we're in the 21st century, and now we need to take all of that very seriously. These are not just prejudices anymore. They are in a socioeconomic and now political position to be able to cause us harm. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get call from area code 601. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jason. How you doing, sir? This is Dr. Dark Black from Jackson, Mississippi.
All right, brother. What's on your mind?
Man, the other day, Friday, I'm at the airport, and you got a military bus that's sitting in the private lot. And off two different flights, I see 40 military, Asian military, getting off the bus, and they get into the government vehicle. So first thing I thought about was, remember that movie Red Dawn back in the day? They made another remake of it too. But the first thing I thought about was that movie and how those parachutes came out of the sky. But now this is another way for them to come in.
Well, as black people, we need to be aware of exactly what they're doing. The government's doing maneuvers. They're doing military maneuvers. It's no telling what they're doing out there. Thank you for giving us a call tonight. Folks, we want to stay focused on the subject here tonight. So I want all of my callers to be aware. I am not opening up the phone line so you can give me random stories from your lives and whatnot. If you have something relevant to what we're discussing here tonight, we're discussing something specific. So we're not really here for that. If you got video of there's something, I guess that's one thing. But we're staying on topic here tonight. We're not just giving random I saw an Asian stories. Call from area code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, caller from 832 dropped off the line, so they must have realized they were in bad company. Let's try another one. Caller from 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay, they must have called from more than one number. Caller from area code 708. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, Jason Black? This is Matty G from the south side of Chicago, man. I've been watching you for a little while, man. I appreciate your show. I just want to say one thing, bro. You know, as black people, you know, we have no sense of history. We have no sense of pride. And all of these other races have that. They have a sense of pride. And they have a sense of that they're not afraid to bring out that warrior spirit in their people, because first of all, they have a focus and economically, being the biggest one. If we're not focused at all, we have nobody to focus us. We got rappers and actors not telling us shit, not focusing us on shit that's real. You know what I'm saying? They can dribble a basketball, you can throw a football. That don't get nobody shit except you with millions of dollars in a mansion. None of these niggas is militarized. You will never find these niggas with a tank, 1,000 men at a call at any point in time. So we're wasting time with these glorifying these people because they're not helping us. Not one bit.
Well, worse than that, they actually work for the very people that you're talking about working against. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get called from area code 281. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Prince out of Richmond, Texas.
Prince out of Richmond. What's on your mind?
Okay, number one, Jason. The Japanese are on the side of the Nazis, I believe, right? So they have a common history of hatred. I've lived all over the world. The way they treated their prisoners of war was real cruel. Another thing I want to say, I believe that the boy that had the young boy that was in the that played football at that high school, where they put him in this locker, they put bananas around him. See, this is what I think they're going to try to do now. They say there was the black children there too. So now it's not a hate crime because they're going to get some coons to do it with them. And I think that's what's going to start happening. They're going to say, well, it couldn't have been a hate crime because there was black people involved also. I think they're going to start using coons to facilitate hate crime.
Well, actually, they kind of already are when they take into account all the snitches and informants and everything else. They actually have already got that. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Folks, let's stay on topic here. Let me get caller from area code 831. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Jason. This is Malika from Monterey.
Malika from Monterey. What's on your mind?
I wanted to call in and thank you. I can hear you.
Yes, Malika from Monterey. What's on your mind?
Okay, I wanted to call in and thank you because you're probably one of the only person that ever pointed this out regarding this media propaganda campaign about black violence against Asians. And that was a thing where I can't remember which podcast it was, but you had said how they would talk about, say, the shooter in Atlanta, but while they're talking about him, they're running the footage of, say, the Bay Area incident with the black male or the New York incident, and how media does that all the time, how they will run images or like with this, how they're saying, oh, well, this isn't about color, this is just about violence against Asians, period. And it's like, yeah, but you keep showing footage of black people. You might be talking about white people or whoever, but you keep showing footage of black people, and that takes precedence in the human mind over anything that's being said or anything that's, being read on the screen. When you keep showing that footage, that's what's being recorded in the human mind. And you are the only person that I have listened to that has ever pointed that out. And I want to thank you for that.
Well, thank you very much for that, because I've been talking about that for a while as well. In San Mateo, I started the Black Channel talking about San Mateo High School out there, how the Asians, there was only 24 black students and 1,000 Asian students, mostly Filipino, who were basically targeting and bullying, harassing the black kids, and nobody made them all criminalized at that school or whatever. They basically gave them, carte blanche to harass the black children. And that's been going on. That was going on for years, even before that story came out. That
happens in many schools here in California.
While they're telling you about black folk, if you insult an Asian person, okay, if we want to talk about systemic Asian supremacy and systemic Asian racism against black people, then you start seeing where the parallels look exactly the same. There is no majority black school where Asians are persecuted by black kids. But you can't show me a single majority Asian school that does not target and bully and harass and attack the black children. You can't show me a single one. So that's why the media is trying to fabricate this now, even though they know it's a lie. They're just hoping it can grow feet. It's been shut down. I'm here to make sure it stays buried. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. And understand something. They lost legs on that, as a matter of fact. They lost their legs on it. The media is already conceding that they've lost their legs, which is why the government's trying to hurry up and put through a bill as quickly as they can. They already lost their momentum on it. So it's already starting to fizzle out. They're doing the best they can to keep the home fires burning. But just understand, things are coming back around to where it's supposed to be, where it's always been. So I warn you all that there are going to be a bunch of desperate attempts to change the subject. This thing about Asians is just the latest one. It won't be the last. Be aware. I warned you. It wasn't the first. It won't be the last. They are going to continue at this. Let me get called from area code 202. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, yes. My name is Culture from DC.
Culture from DC. What's on your mind?
Well, I really wanted to touch on something briefly, which is really that the reason why most black people don't understand why Asians are as vitriolic and as hostile as they are towards us is because we don't really understand collectively what even makes the white supremacists as hostile as they are. And so, like Neely Fuller said, when you don't understand systematic white supremacy everything else will confuse you. And in order to illustrate that point, I'd like to conjunct that with a joke that Patrice O'Neal told.
Okay, I can, for everybody calling in tonight, we can't allow monologuing because folks are going for a while. So I can give you 10 seconds to get to your point.
Yes, sir. Ultimately, what Patrice O'Neal touched on was the fact that the white supremacists have bombed the masculinity out of the entire Asian continent. And so similarly, the white supremacist is very hostile towards Black Americans, especially Black men, because of how masculine we are. So I would imagine that the Asian would also take on a similar type of mind state because they have, more incentive to be hostile towards Black men in particular because of how masculine we are with relationship to how masculine they are essentially not.
Well, they certainly don't like the idea of that because Asian females are the number one group that date outside of their race. And they certainly don't like that. And they also know that Black men tend to be disproportionately attractive to females of all persuasions for sexual reasons. So yes, you have a lot of folk who are very, very upset about that. And that genetic annihilation thing certainly concerns them. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller from area code 917. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Okay. He's trying to figure out which end of his phone to pick up. Caller from area code 910. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Jason. My name is Dan from Chicago, but live from Hiroshima, Japan. And it's been a long time since I've talked to you, but you are right on as always. You about the systematic white supremacy, about how they use buffer zones compared to the Asians. And just being here in Japan, you're right. It's even worse here that they have this elitist mindset towards it. And I want to tell every young Black person this, that you need to understand what white supremacy is. That brother made a good point of what you need to do. If you're a young Black person, you need to understand what climate you do. Do not trust everyone inside Black society or outside of Black society because everyone is targeted against you. You need to understand the biggest concept of why it's important. Again, Jason, thank you. Continue to do what you always done. Be one, brother.
Black first, brother. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. Let me get caller from area code 323. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good evening, big brother Jason. This is brother Elijah calling from Las Vegas by way of New York, brother.
Elijah from Las Vegas. What's on your mind?
I got a question. It's pertaining only to tonight's topic. And it coincides with what Professor Black Truth been teaching us for years. When he taught us that our enemies came from Asia long before they came from Europe, dating back to the teaching of Dr. John Henry Clark. After listening to tonight's program, what will it take for our people to understand when is the last straw? When is it time to just cut these folks off? Because it's clear
it'll take a constant effort. Where we're at right now, you have to understand there's a bunch of Black folk whose minds have already been defeated and colonized. So it is going to be an issue where, there's a lot of Black folk who are just suicidal. So no amount of abuse, no amount of problem, no amount of trouble is ever going to stop them. So don't look for them to change. It's really going to be up for sensible Black people. So we've already reached that 10% of us who get it. The real point now is getting over that 20 because we're the only group of people who could possibly prove that the rule of sociology that once 10% of a group accepts something, it becomes inevitable that the rest of the group accepts it. We're the only group of people who might prove that one wrong if we don't keep pushing on it. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller from area code 469. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Big Stone from Dallas, Texas.
Stone from Dallas. What's on your mind?
All right, Jason Black, man. We already know Black folks need to get on culture.
And when we get on code, we'll stop spending our money for this chicken and rice, for these expensive stores, they gas stations they got everywhere. We go to, we're not hating on Asians. We're loving on Asians. We're spending our money with them. We're spending our time with them. We're taking our kids there to get their fake hair. We take our kids there to get their chicken and rice and their expensive soda pops at these gas stations. We need to draw back. Pull our resources in. Start spending your money at these black establishments. Stop going to all these white establishments. Because that's money is power. And that's the only way we can think and twist their arm. And those bucket class, those Asians, those Hispanics, they ready to jump on whoever got the power. Whoever holding the money, whoever holding the power, they're gonna ride with you. If we had all the money and the power, that Asian girl be kicking over white accounts.
You know what?
Pure black.
You now, of everybody who's called, Stomp, and you've been listening to me for a while, of everybody who's called, you actually get it more than anybody who's called in tonight. You actually get it. Brothers and sisters from around the world, power does not respect weakness. Power only respects power. What the previous caller kind of overlooked when he was talking about what the similarities between why whites and Asians react to us the same. It is because Asians respect power. And those bombs dropped on them were an incredible show of power. It was a show of unapologetic, unmerciful, unrelenting, and unmistakable power. And Asians respect that. White people respect power too, which is why I've taught you all that it is treason to sit up here and try to sell our intellectual heritage, which is what the blues and jazz and rap are. You are selling our cultural heritage so you can get you some non-black sex, and you have no right to sell that. But worse than the treason against us, you now look weak to the very people you're selling it to. You see, when you guard something, you make it valuable. Scarcity makes something valuable. When people protect it with their lives, it makes it valuable. When you whore it out to anyone who walks up to you, that's the definition of dilution. This is why you cannot allow hood rats, coons, or other idiots to run the conversations, because we need to make it very clear that we value this. And when people see us willing to fight and shed blood and to stand up for ourselves, they will take that seriously. They understand shows of power, but they're trying us because they're taking a look at us and saying, well, y'all look pretty weak. Let me see how much I can get away with. Let me see. So next thing you know, they end up treating you far differently than anything you see when you treat other people like. And you're wondering why that is. That's because they don't respect weakness. They respect power. And to us, we're sitting up here trying to figure out how to either spread the love of Jesus or how to snuggle up with folks. We're trying to and call that power. No, it isn't. No, it's not. Power comes from saying no. Power doesn't come from saying yes. Power comes from people walking up requesting something from you and you saying no. When you have the ability to say no, there's power in no. Anybody can say yes. There is power in saying no. There's power in saying, I will not go along with your program. There is power in saying, I will not let you abuse me. There is power in saying, I am not going to just roll over for you. There's power in saying, I am not going to allow you to abuse me. There's power in that. And as Black people, that's the part of the conversation. That's the component that's missing. We are so busy because you got so many weak, broken-minded Negroes that they're so busy trying to parasite power off of other people, like bloodsuckers. and all they see you as is a parasite. When you get together with other Black people and cultivate power within your group, then other people start to respect that. But you will never gain respect. You will never gain human rights from a position of weakness. The only thing that weakness will encourage other people to do, it will not encourage sympathy. Take a look at what the United States government is doing right now. Black people are the weakest people in America, always have been, and they are sitting up here leapfrogging us and claiming that Asians need assistance. Asians per capita are the richest people in America. Dr. Claude Anderson's been telling us about that for 20 years. Asians are the richest people in America per capita. The people with the highest income in America per capita are Asians. And according to the United States government, the people with the highest income per capita need economic support right now. Black people don't need nothing. Black people who are at the bottom and always have been, you don't need anything. Asians who are at the top of the economic ladder, they need the support. What are they telling you? They don't respect weakness. They only respect power. Very good point you make there, Stomp. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. I'm going to take a couple of more phone calls here before I wrap things up here tonight because I want to make sure we end on a good note for this. Let me get caller from area code 202. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
JB from Washington, D.C.
JB from D.C. What's on your mind?
Yes, I want to echo that fact. Powerless situations that we've been involved in all these years. And I want to say, staying on topic, I dated a Asian woman very shortly, to say briefly, and I noticed that she was very uncomfortable around a very dominant Black crowd, but she was very comfortable with the white crowd. So that let me know her comfortability was more so with the white side. And that let me know how the attitudes and situations like that. I live in Northern California as well as South. So, Northern California near the, I would say the area where, a lot of people in Silicon Valley, there's a lot of Asians in that area and they run it, especially near Salem State University where I used to work at. So my principal point is that they're getting all the accolades that they feel that they deserve, and Black people are still on the end of looking for a handout that we're never going to receive. Now, a lot of people have put a lot of confusions and a lot of situations on us, and I think everybody should know by now who's behind all these situations and the confusion with the Asian and Black relationship. Because
okay, who is it? What is the handout that Black people are looking for that they're not going to receive?
Well, I shouldn't word it as handout. The equal rights that we should have been received is to oppose to a handout. And lack of a better word,
I would suggest to Black people that we made more progress on that point, on that front in the last 12 months since the George Floyd killing than we did in the previous 30 years. And the reason for that is because we did not ask for it, we took it. You had soldiers in the streets, you had revolutionaries in the streets, you had folk like me saying, and we're going to pay their bail, legal fees, or whatever. When you saw that united front come against them, they started buckling. And all it takes is that happening again, which is why they're so scared of it now. They're terrified of that happening again because they understand what happens. Dr. John Henry Clark taught us that. He said that if you study, the reason why they don't want to teach you to be a properly educated person is because properly educated people study what their oppressors did. And if you study what your oppressors did when it comes to power, you will realize a properly educated person understands you don't ask for power, you take it. Thank you very much for giving us a call.
Yeah,
let me get one more call. Caller from area code 757. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Desiree. I'm calling from Maryland. What's up over here, DC? Anyway, I love you. I'm going to say like this. Fuck them goddamn Asians. White supremacy, this is nothing new. Everything is going around here 360. History is repeating itself. The reason why history is repeating itself because brothers and sisters don't want to read. I got my own bookstore, a 90 bookstore. How many times the brothers and sisters don't even want to read a metaphor of apartheid let alone all the experiments they have done on us since the beginning of time. You sitting here talking about the Asian. What happened in Vietnam when the brothers was going over there fighting? And Muhammad Ali said, hell no, I'm not going over there. Why am I fighting against them? Them motherfuckers don't even give a fuck about their own people. Anytime you put a bomb on a baby and let it blow up, and got the brothers sitting around there trying to grab it. What are you talking about? And the motherfuckers put that sign up talking about, brothers, this is not your war. When did the motherfucking Asians become our war? Karma is a bitch. I don't give a fuck about no motherfucking Asian getting beat down on no motherfucking street. I don't give a fuck about nobody shooting at them motherfuckers. Y'all motherfuckers ain't running around here protesting for us. Y'all motherfuckers ain't right here doing nothing for us. These brothers go around here, they go get them Filipino girls, they go date them Asian women, they go and get them Spanish girls. But they turn around, they talk about their sister. You get what you get. Did nobody tell you to fuck with them bitches? That's the same thing they did with them cave dwellers. Got to fuck them motherfucking white bitches to make sure you look like something. What's wrong with your sister? The first thing you said was about the food fucking
giving us a call tonight.
Mouthful, Jay, huh?
Well,
she was right.
Jason, let them talk.
She was right.
I'll let them talk. Brothers and sisters from around the world, they've been trying to spread propaganda that there is some movement to target Asians, and we are proving to you here tonight, no, it is the other way around. It's what it's always been here. I want all of you aware. I want all of you vigilant. I want all of you paying attention. The Derek Chauvin trial is going on right now. Folks are getting in position. After that one's over, you can have Dante Wright, and after that one's over, you can have many more. Until Black people take these things seriously. No, we don't need Stop Asian Hate. Isn't the battle cry. It is, the issue is still Black people. The issue is still white supremacy. That has never changed. That has not changed. That will not change. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend, over 120,000 subscribers and rising. We are not a little thing. If you haven't clicked that red subscribe button, do so now. We are the only Black media outlet that does what we do, what you saw here tonight. YouTube has us under a shadow ban. What that means is that they do not recommend us and they do not suggest us. Over there on the column on the right-hand side of your videos, YouTube does not suggest us. They don't recommend us. They're trying to bury us, even though we have not violated a single rule of this website, except the I'm white and I say so rule. We have violated that one. So how do we deal with that? Your support is how we deal with that. Everybody shares World Star Hip Hop and other foolery, coonery, and buffoonery. Your job is to help us by sharing this program. This is information, insight, and analysis you receive nowhere else. It is giving you the intellectual armament that you need to be able to combat this wicked system. So make sure you share this program. If you have not been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you definitely want to go there and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, and Race War. All available on Amazon for streaming and rental. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That's blackchannelfilms.com. One more time, I want to send a very big thanks to everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal or Cash App. Thank you very much for your support. It is very much appreciated here, and that's what helps keep us encouraged in what we're doing. So thank you. You're all unsung heroes, but just understand I know. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.